COVID alert level 4, which came into place in Auckland since August 17, due to current Delta outbreak, has impacted one and all. The businesses which have been shut due to the same are the worst hit financially. They are the ones who are bearing the brunt of the lockdown the most. The government has announced various schemes, including wage subsidy and COVID resurgence payments to support them, but that doesn't seem enough. We asked Auckland-based business owners about their situation and what are their expectations of the current government.
It is quite a bad situation all around, and on my business, especially being into hospitality, cafes and restaurants, we're not able to operate at all. Well, when we say we can't operate, there's no income, and the outgoings are still going. So it's a very bad situation, and there is nothing we can do about it at this stage.
My business is Indian takeaway with sweets. So our main festive seasons are Ganesh Chaturthi and upcoming Navratri and Diwali. And with this lockdown, I don't think any of the festivals will be going right. Likewise happened last year too. So really, the business just starts to pick up, and then there is a lockdown, which brings a huge gap, and then the recovery period. So really, we don't know how we are going in this year too.
Being dental industry, we have got a couple of dental practices where the rent is not nominal. We are paying approximately $8,000 to $10,000 each clinic, and paying that much of rent and not receiving any sort of help from government when it comes to rent. We are just receiving like a resurgence subsidy for $1,500 per business, which is like pretty much next to nothing. So it is impacting big time. We are struggling and don't know till when we are going to be in this lockdown for level 4 and level 3.
Look, the impact is huge. It's massive. We as a business, if I talk from my restaurant's perspective, we are in deep trouble in Auckland at the moment. And especially when the lockdown happened, it happened at the very wrong time, because we were gearing up for Raki, as you're aware. It's a big festival for our business, and we had a lot of stock which was already prepared, but we obviously had no opportunity to sell it. So the impact has been significant. I hope we get out of it as soon as possible. Otherwise, if it just continues like this, we won't be able to survive for long.
We had, and I think every financial advisor, every mortgage advisor had, settlements booked from August and September, which can only happen once we move to an alert level, जहाँ पे वो successfully, safely हो सके. So what it means is कि your revenue gets postponed. So yes, there are economic support, but it can never replicate the income you were going to get from our profession. So that also, it's an opportunity to acquire new customers, which has been lost. So if you are sitting home for 5 weeks, yes, you can, tap into your existing customer base, but the opportunity to actually go and promote yourself, that opportunity is definitely lost. We've come across so many networking events which we used to go to.
Impact is definitely, I would say, between 1 to 10 scale, it is 10. The reason behind that is basically we can't do anything. And the expenses, the fixed expenses are piled up, it's every month rather than every week many a times. So, and we are not, government is not taking care of the fixed expenses. Of course, we are getting that wage subsidy, which is being distributed to the staff members. So that's fine. But what happens to our fixed expenses? In a short term or immediate effect is, I would say, for my Kiwi Bank and New Zealand Post franchisee retail business, is about a 10 grand a month. That is what the impact is, which we have to pay from our pocket. We have, in fact, tried to negotiate with our landlord, and landlord clearly said that whatever you get from the government, it's you get it, but otherwise, you have to pay the rent and the other, fixed expenses, that definitely, telephone and the internet and all those expenses we have to bear, and irrespective of, we are not getting any turnover or remuneration out of our business. So that is one impact. But the long-term effect, Linaji, which it is very hard to forecast at this stage. Say, as I said earlier, from say 500 to 600 customers daily coming into my shop, it has reduced to 300 after the first lockdown, and the second lockdown, I don't know. So that is an indirect hit to our retail business.
हम हॉस्पिटैलिटी सेक्टर में हैं, तो हमारा बिजनेस तो अंडर लेवल अलर्ट लेवल 4 में फुली शट डाउन हो जाता है. सो इवन लेवल 3 में भी मोस्टली बंद ही रहता है, एंड वी कैन रीओपन इन लेवल 2 विद सम, उसके साथ भी कुछ उनकी रिस्ट्रिक्शंस रहती हैं, सम रिस्ट्रिक्शंस ऑफ. सो व्हाट आई कुड सी कि जब आप कहते हो कि क्या इम्पैक्ट है जी, हमारे लिए तो 100% रेवेन्यू ड्रॉप है. उसके ऊपर customers जो हैं, see I'm in the industry of hospitality. I said I have couple of restaurant and bars. तो जैसे अभी रेस्टोरेंट्स की हम अगर बात करते हैं, तो see restaurants are fully closed, even the takeaways are not allowed. But on the other side, the people can get some food, even cooked food from the supermarkets. ठीक है जी, हमारा जो कस्टमर्स है वो कुछ लोग वहां शिफ्ट हो जाते हैं. Of course, the people who has to get a cooked food, they will definitely go there, right? तो सुपरमार्केट्स में फूड्स वगैरह अवेलेबल हैं, सब चीजें वहाँ अवेलेबल हैं, लेकिन रेस्टोरेंट्स एंड टेकअवेज आर फुली क्लोज्ड. सो हमारे लिए तो जी ये चीजें बहुत ज्यादा एडवर्सली इम्पैक्ट करती हैं, क्योंकि बिजनेस फुली क्लोज्ड है.
One of the problems that we are facing is that our clients, they want to come to the office, drop the documents, and they're unable to do that. So of course, we can't lodge those kind of applications. And secondly, I mean, New Zealand immigration had 18 months to basically set up system where they could make all applications could be submitted online, but they didn't manage to do that. So of course, we are losing in some kind of a business where we can't lodge the applications online. And now what we've done is we actually started with Canadian visas. So that's keeping us busy.
What do you think? Is the resurgent support payment sufficient for your business to survive?
Not at all. Not at all. Because resurgent support, where they give 1,500 as the basic, and then the per FTE head count of your staffing, 1,500 for 2 weeks, it's not even enough for the rent. And they put it as this is to help you with your outgoings. It does not cover the rent.
Sufficient for any business to survive, because resurgent support, yes, it is a fixed amount, but at the same time, you have all your outgoings which still keep going, like your rental payments, your mortgage payments, everything, your phone bill, you name it, all the expenses will keep going. So is it enough? No, it's not enough. So there has to be, and I think there's a huge call from the business lobby in Auckland to think about Auckland businesses and how they can support them in a better way, because one size fits all does not work in this scenario.
No, it's good that they're doing something, but that not even form a part of even 1 week rent, because they're giving 1,500, I think, per business and plus 500, 400 per employee. That's not sufficient. I think they should do that every week rather than doing it 1 or 2 times. I think the planning to do another one this Friday, but definitely not enough to cover the expenses. The expenses are insurances, FPOs, internet, power, everything is on. Nothing has stopped.
It's not even close. We definitely demand government to give us some sort of help towards the rent at least. We are not expecting anything towards our profit and other outgoings, but at least they should start paying big businesses or small businesses at least the rent supplement, which can help us to survive ourselves.
Absolutely not. As I said, it's just a drop in the ocean. The expenses, which we, if we start calculating, we have rent payment, we have a lot of suppliers which have been hounding us for the payments. We have a lot of other expenses, such as the council payments, and you name it, a number of payments which we have to. And obviously, as a business, we have to commit at least 3 to 4 months ahead. It doesn't work
like that we only commit for a week. We have to commit for at least next 4 to 5 months, and we've been already committed. We didn't know that lockdown is coming. So the resurgence payment is basically not even covering our basic expense, not even covering the rent. It's just nothing.
It's just a peanuts, I would say. Yeah. So what we, to my Kiwi Bank and that business, my loss every month is $10,000, and what I got is $1,800. So that's the difference between a support and our our loss, I would say. So it is not at all enough, I would say.
Unfortunately not. As I said कि हमारे जो businesses हैं जब वो fully close हो जाते हैं तो सबसे बड़ी जो businessman के लिए like me is a hassle is a lease or a rent, जिसकी कोई भी गवर्नमेंट से सपोर्ट नहीं आई. लास्ट ईयर अगेन लॉकडाउन में हम लोगों ने बस सारे बिजनेसमैन ने काफी इसके लिए गवर्नमेंट से रिक्वेस्ट की थी, प्लीज ब्रिंग अप सम सॉल्यूशंस, और मतलब कुछ ना कुछ क्लियर पॉलिसीज आना चाहिए. सी रिजर्जेंस, आप जो रिजर्जेंस पेमेंट की बात कर रहे हैं, दैट्स $1,500 पर बिजनेस एंड $400 आई थिंक इज पर एम्प्लॉय, राइट? अब ये पॉलिसी सब बिजनेसेस के लिए सेम है, इररिस्पेक्टिव समवन इज रनिंग अ बिजनेस फ्रॉम होम or someone is paying a lease of $10,000 a month or a $50,000 a month or a $1,000 a month. अब I'm not saying अभी let's say मेरे की नेचर ऑफ बिजनेस ऐसा है कि मैं घर से रन कर सकता हूँ, मैं ऑनलाइन बिजनेस चला रहा हूँ और मेरे साथ 2-3 लोग काम कर रहे हैं, प्रॉबेबली उनके लिए रिसर्जेंस पेमेंट बेनिफिशियल होगा, क्योंकि जब उनके लिए कुछ चीजें कवर करता होगा, बिकॉज दे डू नॉट हैव टू पे एनी लीज और एनी मॉर्गेज और एनी रेंट फॉर द बिजनेस. लेकिन हमारे लिए सबसे बड़ा जो इम्पैक्ट है वो लीज का है जी. अभी एज लेट्स से एज ऑन एवरेज मेरे 4 से 5 बिजनेस हैं जो ऑकलैंड में हैं हॉस्पिटैलिटी में, तो आई एम रफली पेइंग $20,000 रेंट पर वीक. अब उनमें से कुछ लैंडलॉर्ड्स ने हमको 100% तक भी ऑफर किया है. दे आर वेरी वेरी लाइक दे वेरी नाइस, आई कुड से, दे अंडरस्टैंड. सम ऑफ देम ऑफर्ड अस 50%, बट देयर आर सम हु डिड नॉट ऑफर एनी सपोर्ट. वो कह रहे जी हम आपको कोई रेंट वेट नहीं दे सकते, आपको 100% रेंट देना पड़ेगा, लेकिन हम ये कर सकते हैं कि आप रेंट थोड़ा लेट दे दो.
I think that it is okay to keep the business afloat for a while, but again, I think what people really need to look into is that, end of the day, the government is borrowing money from different banks and from different resources. So it's not like free money for the country, and we cannot rely on this for the future lockdown. So we can't just rely on these kind of payments. So they need to find some other way system to keep all the business afloat.
So what message or advice do you want to give to the government?
I understand where the government is coming from. They are trying to be very hard and strong at very early to stop the chain. But then I feel that is a lot of panic. In this lockdown scenario, there was only one case, and then we put it as lockdown right away. There was no time given for businesses whatsoever to wrap up.
I think the government needed to look after businesses in a better way. I know that they're giving this wage subsidy, but that's fine. We have to pass it on to the employees, plus we have to top it up if we need to. And on the top, we are paying 8% as a holiday pay that goes out from our own pocket. Now, if they support businesses, giving them some sort of support, some sort of cash flow, so businesses can survive, and then we can retain those employees who, in fact, if I can't survive my business, or I have to make me redundant, or I have to shut my business down, and end of the day, they will go back to the government and get some benefit. So all that money which I have paid in last month as a wage subsidy, that will be of no use if I had to close my business now. They will go back to the government and get benefit. So they should have helped businesses with a cash flow of some sort of financial help, where they pay maybe 50% of the rent, and landlord can discount 25%, and then employers can pay the balance, 25%. So some sort of strategy would have been in place, would have been better for everyone.
There have been a couple of incidents where government was not very transparent with the citizens. Like, say, for example, there was a person left MIQ facilities, and government was aware of the incident at about 10 o'clock in the morning. And there was no mention at 1 o'clock meeting that, hey, look, this has even happened. People got to know from New Zealand Heralds and other news channels, look, these things been happen. We don't expect much, but at least the basic expectation from the government is to be transparent and let us know what's happening so we can plan ourselves accordingly.
Be better prepared next time. We shouldn't have been in lockdown in the first place. We should have invested more in the infrastructure to improve our health sector. We knew Delta was around, so rather than wait for Delta to get into the community and cause this level of lockdown, we should have invested more, in our hospitals to increase the number of beds, ICUs, and ramp up our vaccination 6 months ago. So I think government needs to form a strategy, have some clear planning going forward, that we don't end up in this scenario again, because sitting home is not ideal for anyone. We talk about health issues. What about mental health issues?
My message to the government, especially because we deal in the field of immigration, is I think that Alistair and I, we have been, in this campaign that we think that the people on the work visas in this country, and especially the ones who are helping essential workers, they should be given a genuine pathway to residency. They should come up with something. I mean, you've seen that a lot of other countries are actually appreciating the immigrants and the people on the, work visas. So my thing is that they should give them some pathway. They deserve it.
There should be no time where we have to go and advise them. They are the one who running the country, so they should be proactive about it. But anyway, if you ask me from the restaurant and cafes perspective, I would say there are approximately about 5,000 cafes and restaurants in Auckland. Mm-hmm. When they open the delivery and parcel for liquor stores and for bakeries, why did they not allow cafes and restaurants for a delivery, like an Uber or a delivery by ourselves, which is going to be contactless, right? So they could have opened that in level 4. A lot of countries have done that, and that does not affect in any way the COVID, the social distancing, and we don't breach that because the customer is not coming to your premises. So I guess even in the level 4, they should have opened, let restaurants and cafes open for takeaways, not for takeaways, for deliveries only.
That's an immediate, definitely a support. Financial support is a requirement. Otherwise it's hard for us to survive. I would say that's one thing. But second thing is definitely in a long run, we should see that all the time why Auckland should get a hit. So the wise thing to be done is, that all MIQ facility, not all, but at least 50-60% MIQ facilities has to be gone out of the Auckland in a remote area where, the business and the economy is not getting affected. So that in any case is to be, because the way it is being seen internationally, that Corona is not going to go just like that. This is going to happen. We have to open up the borders. The moment you open up the border, you are again, you will be again, affected with that, and there will be cases coming up and all that. In that case, the MIQ facility has to move out of the Auckland. So that at least Auckland, where the more than 70% of the economy is surviving, it has to, we have to safeguard Auckland. So that's the message. Definitely we should pass on to government.
And then we requested further they are not ready. We understand their situation too. मैं ये नहीं किसी को blame कर रहा हूँ कि वो लोग हमको rent नहीं छोड़ रहे हैं, लेकिन उनको भी mortgages pay करनी है थी, उनको भी आगे सब चीजें pay करनी है. तो I do not think resurgence जो payment है वो we could say helpful है, लेकिन it's not even, मतलब किसी मेरे जैसे business के लिए तो अगर मैं $1,500 पर business ले रहा हूँ और 5 employee हैं, तो let's say I got $3,000 for a 1 month where I'm paying a $4,000 a rent per week. तो मेरे जैसा business तो मैं अगर जैसे मैंने आपको बोला कि $100,000 की lease है, मतलब हमने जो रेंट वगैरह हम पे कर रहे हैं, तो मैं अगर 50% भी ऑल ओवर मेरे सब लोगों से मेरे को मिल जाए, अगर आप ये पकड़ के भी चलें कि मेरे को बाकी लोगों ने 50% रेंट दे दिया है, तो मैं एम स्टिल इन अ लॉस ऑफ अराउंड $40,000 to $50,000 और बिहाइंड विद द लीज पेमेंट्स विद द $50,000 इन 1 month। तो वो हम लोग कहाँ से कवर करेंगे जी? बट गवर्नमेंट इज नॉट कमिंग अप विद एनी क्लियर पॉलिसीज अबाउट लीज, अबाउट रेंट। लास्ट टाइम भी हम लोगों ने बोला था, दे सेड दे आर वर्किंग ऑन इट, दैट वी हर्ड कि द गवर्नमेंट इज वर्किंग ऑन फ्यू थिंग्स, but there's no clarities. So I could say for us, resurgence payment is not, I think most of the small business के लिए भी ये पूरा नहीं पड़ता. So probably the government has to work something more on it, कि rather than, so they're treating every business in the same way. जैसे मैंने आपको पहले बोला, business घर से चला रहे हैं तो भी उतने पेमेंट आ रहा है, आप $2,000 का लीज पर मंथ पे कर रहे हैं तो भी उतने पेमेंट आ रहा है, अगर आप $20,000 का मंथ का लीज पे कर रहे हैं तो भी उतने पेमेंट आ रहा है. So probably they have to come with like some more better ideas, उनको कैटेगराइज किया जाए कि अगर आप रेंट पे कर रहे हैं आपको इस हिसाब से मिलेगा, अगर आप घर से बिजनेस चला रहे हैं आपको ऐसा मिलेगा. सो आई थिंक दिस दे हैव टू कम विद मोर बेटर आइडियाज. सो नहीं जी, सर्जेंस पेमेंट तो आप ये कह लो कि probably 10 to 15% covering the loss for me.
What message or advice do you want to give to the government?
अगेन जी, हमारी तो देखिए, वी ऑल अंडरस्टैंड सेफ्टी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, इज नो डाउट. व्हाट हम यही चाहते हैं कि गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से हमारे जैसे एसएमईज के लिए कुछ क्लियर पॉलिसीज आनी चाहिए